I'm going to explain what I believe paranormal activity actually is. And in my life, I've had a lot of weird stuff, but there's always a logical explanation for a lot of things. Say, this hotel video I watched, a lady was screaming in the room, and all the furniture was turned over. Publicity stunt. Easy. Ghost hunts. You had somebody with a microwave in the other room. That messes with the little sniffers and readers. However, for me, growing up, my parents would tell me that I had, and I still have a lot of early memories. Like, I remember potty training. I remember other people. I have memories of when I was a baby. That's the weird thing. Memories of me remembering what it was like to have your diaper changed or stuff, or wear diapers, or get pushed around in strollers. But when it comes to, like, the people that I would see above my doors every morning, that was identicism, and it only happened a few times. And I still remember it, and to this day, I still have partial identicism. I've been learning to control it better. But it's not quite as pronounced and efficient as you might actually think. Anyway, we're not talking about identicism. So, other than that, like, I lived in a Victorian era home. I heard somebody walking up the stairs after school, and her bathroom was right next to the stairs, so I was there, and they're creaky old stairs, so Victorian era. Nobody was there when I walked out. Well, was it possible that it was somebody who broke in? Probably. And then it goes down to when I was in Phoenix. I lived in a house in Tempe, right by downtown, brick walls. And one night, my roommates were gone. It was just me, and all the pots and pans were thrown out all over the floors. And I heard them all crashing on, and maybe my roommates came home to play a practical joke on me because I told them paranormal activity kind of freaked me out. Plausible. Later that night, though, there was pounding in the bathroom. Boom, 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 boom. This is just crazy. But my bathroom was in my room, and it was very clear that it wasn't, say, on the drywall on the other side of the bathroom. It was on the vinyl wall that made the shower. Aside from that being the only night that I've ever had sleep paralysis, and it happened 3 times in one night, this is a weird night. Going into what's happened here that I've been living in a place here that was built in the 40s, in a new apartment. Not new, not even close to new. Definitely, carpet hasn't been changed in a long time. But after, about a week of me living here, I was sitting on my rug playing guitar, and I still had a lot of my boxes out. Well, one of my boxes rotated on its own. My paintings keep falling off the walls, and the other day in the morning, sounded like somebody was pacing back and forth, and I'm sleeping on my couch, and it was like somebody right behind me walking back and forth in the room. It was very loud creaking. The whole room was creaking. It was the craziest thing. Anyway, so what do I think a lot of it is? In terms of what's happened to me, various sounds, I believe, are not actually necessarily sounds. I think that it's very hard to explain. I explain it as gravitational field flux. So what's happening is, the molecules are sort of storing information that a person who just happens to make the right probabilistic motion, or potential energy, or just enacting inertia into gravitational field, or just the molecular field. It's hard to explain. In that that then allows for something in the past that happened that can rehappen. So it can mimic a sound from our past, or mimic a force, even if it just happens to be just that amplified. I mean, compared to the box rotating, that's the weirdest thing, I think. I've never seen anything just move on its own. And I thought, Jesus, with all the crap I think about, maybe we figured out cloaking technology and there's somebody just like hanging out in the room watching me. that's that's just as far-fetched as a ghost, right? So then it occurs to me, I mean, like, what would I have to do so that the molecules on a box mimic, an exchange of energy to force? And with my gravitational field model, it all could make sense. So how you get that much electrostatic energy to one side of a box that it rotates it? What's going on in the room? I'm playing guitar. So guitar vibrate and resonate air, and that creates static charge. And so it just happens to meet at this one moment. The probabilities are insane. Otherwise, this would be happening all the time, right? People would just be hearing clicks and things, and screams, or children laughing, or other things. And so when it comes to a child who says they see a ghost, most likely it's their imagination running a little rampant, and they are hearing some very high sort of frequency that, as you grow older, your ears lose those tiny little hairs, and you're not going to hear as much. So your children, though, they're going to be really sensitive to electrostatic energy, and it can resonate in their skin too, as we know now. So we know that you can take it's like a transducer for your body, transducing amplifier that you can put on you, and you will hear sound through your body. And that happens too if you rub your skin. You'll hear I hear like a glassy ring when I rub my skin. I always thought that was a disease or something too, but never had it checked out. Don't care. However, a lot of the genuine oddities that happen, like for me, the box rotating or the floor creaking, a lot of people are moving in and out. It's possible there's a floorboard that is connected across this wall here into the neighbor, though I've never seen that neighbor. Never heard their door open. One time a girl went in there. No idea who lives in there, other than a strange guy with a ponytail that got the mail for that room. Anyway, that could just be that the floorboards are, and in my room it's them walking across theirs, but these walls are so thick that I can't hear them actually walking, and it's just translating energy through to my floor. That's rational. When it comes to other things like that, how do you get that energy in there, and how does it just happen to allow some sort of stored energy pulse to harmonize at the right moment? And it's always because you're around. So imagine if you weren't around, and all the molecules are still moving, everything's just happening, but nothing's there to randomize that because they're in harmony. So everything's sustaining itself. So as you're around, you are this body of molecules that are just breaking all the rules, and you increase the probability of something like that happening, because it's so hard to explain. It's a weird thing, but that is what a lot of us misconstrue as paranormal activity could be explained as.